talk about faith, and I want to talk about trust as an entrepreneur, somebody who's pursuing building something for the kingdom of God, whether it's a ministry, whether it's a podcast, whether it is a community, whether it's an organization, whether it's a product that you are bringing to life. I want to talk about faith and trusting in God through the process, because I know and hear a lot of people, I got this, I got that, I got this, I got that, but I'm scared, or I'm not sure, or I don't know what it's going to look like, or I don't have this. And so coming from experience, I want to give you some experiences, and also hopes that it encourages you to press go anyway, to start anyway, to give God room to be God in your life anyway. You know what I'm saying? Because I'm sitting here reflecting, and I'm just like, God, I'm grateful for the life that you have afforded me, because I can do some of the things I can do. And listen, this is not me saying that my life is perfect. I'm not a millionaire yet. I am not a thousandaire yet, but I have what I need, and it's from the grace of God. And so it's like, God, I'm grateful for what you have afforded me, because the life that I'm living now in 2026, I did not understand what this could look like when I started in 2023. So I've literally wrote on my mirror, like last year I wrote on my mirror, I am standing in what seemed impossible in 2023. And that was in 2025 when I wrote that. And I was like, wow, look what happens when you just trust God. Like when you just step out on faith and you move in the now faith, you move in the unction of God and you trust him. Look what he can do. And really, I want to speak to those who are reluctant to move because you don't want to make the wrong choice. Because that's a very real fear or concern of making the wrong choice, of going in a route that God doesn't want you to go. And from experience, I've done that. I've been in the place where I've done that, right? So let me just tell you a little bit about my journey becoming an entrepreneur and my continuing journey, because we're just here in the beginning. And then I'm also going to share a mindset shift that you need to take on, because it'll help you in seasons where you feel like you're not doing enough, or you're not making enough progress, or whatever the case may be, where you feel stagnant, or where you feel like things aren't making sense, or that they're not moving quick enough, right? So I was a teacher in 2023 was my last year teaching. 2023 was my last year teaching. And so from that, I had a moment, like the whole school year, I have been contemplating, like, I don't want to be here no more. I need to do something different. I need to, because what my real desire was to become a life coach, and to develop this big program to help women live on purpose, to walk in the calling that God has for them, to help them develop a strong mindset. Right. And so that was the goal. It's like, I want to break out. I feel such a strong pull to build this program that I want to just jump out and do it. And within that, I'm still working my full-time job while doing this. So I'm showing up on live. I'm hosting workshops. I'm hosting conferences, virtual conferences. I have a community, and all these things are going on while I'm working. And so with that, I also had to, you got to show up online. So I'm making my own flyers. I'm making my own workbooks. I'm digitally doing everything myself. I'm my own marketer. I'm my own graphic designer. I'm running the business. I'm the coach, right? I'm doing everything. I'm customer service. I'm setting up systems. I'm doing it, all of it, while working this job. And so because I'm doing my graphics and things, I come across a platform called Fiverr. And on the platform, you can freelance your services. This is a gem that I'm throwing out. Write this down. This is a gem. So you can freelance your services. So I'm like, okay, well, let me make some extra money to fund the business while I'm still working. And so that's what I did. So I got on Fiverr, started taking orders, doing book design for people, and it started to pick up. And so it started to pick up. I'm like, oh, there's some wind on this. And so one day I'm sitting in the classroom probably having a frustrated moment. I don't know what exactly was going on fully in the moment, but I remember saying, I am not coming back here next year. This is it. And I really wanted to put in my notice in that season, but it was like halfway through the school year. And so I decided to stick out the school year because I didn't want to leave my students and them have another change, because there was already so many different changes happening in the school, like with teachers leaving, with just drama, just stuff was happening. I didn't want to be another like fault in their instability that they were in at the school. So I was like, I'm going to just stick it out through the end of the school year. But at that moment is when I made up my mind that I'm not coming back. And so when I made up my mind, of course, I had warred back and forth in my mind. Like, am I really going to do this? What's going to happen? Da, 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 da. And, you know, as a teacher, you don't work in the summers anyway. Well, if you don't have to work in the summers, you don't work in the summers anyway. So I already knew I was going to be off all summer. So I'm just plowing. And it gets to the point that my lease is up at my apartment. I didn't have the income, like I'm still doing my client work and stuff, but I didn't have the income to extend where I was living. So I had to literally downsize, and the Lord opened up the door that I could go move in with family. And so I did that, like gracious. Like, you have to be willing to do the uncommon things when you're moving in God. Like, I'm 30, what was I? I think I was 30. I was 31 years old, moving in with family. Like, I'm living on my own, teacher, got a college educated, all this, 30 years old. And from the world perspective, going backwards, moving in with my family so that I could start this business. Like, you got to be willing to do stuff like that. You got to be willing to think outside of the box. And one thing that the Lord has been reminding me, like personally, like you have to, you cannot think in a constraint of what the world standard is. Like, you have to think outside of the box as you are moving and what it is that He's calling you to build, right? And so I moved in with them, and from there, just from the bottom, building up, right? I'm running this business. I'm leading this women's community ministry that I have. I'm building this coaching program. I'm growing this graphic design business, all at the same time, just flowing in it. Ask me, I didn't have no savings. Clearly, I didn't have no savings because I had to move out, right? I didn't have everything perfect, right? And what your process looks like may be different. God might not tell you to quit your job. He might say build while you are in your job, but you got to have your ear open to what He's saying to you. And so that was my process from getting from 2023 to 2026, where I'm living on my own again. My clientele is growing. Doors are opening up. Like, it's just, you got to give Him room to be God is literally what you have to do. And be willing to look like a fool for Him. Like, because some people would look and be like, I had somebody say when I moved, they were like, I was telling them all of my bills and what I had to do and da da da. And they were like, well, maybe you need to get a job. They were like, well, maybe you need to get a job. So really just erase everything that I'm trying to do and just go back to what was comfortable. And I'm not going to lie, I often had thoughts like, I just need a JLB. I need a job. I need to teach. That consistent paycheck was comfortable, okay? It was comfortable. But I was willing to pay the cost. To get this business to where I know it can be, and to see what God is going to do with it. And so the graphic design business is sustaining me, it's thriving, it's opening doors for me. And all because I just said, okay, I'm just going to go by faith and see what happens. I'm not going to have another shoulda, coulda, woulda moment in my life to say, oh, well, 10 years later, be like, dang, I wish I had just tried and stopped teaching for just a little bit to just even see what was going to happen. I wish I had just tried it. So I want to encourage you to trust God and give Him room with your thing. However He tells you to do it, you got to intently seek Him during the process. So if it's a podcast, start to put the pieces together. Record your first episode. Put it out there. People are going to, and if you're worried about people are going to talk about you, whether you're doing good or bad. But if God has put this in your belly, there are people who need it. And you being trapped and confined by fear and the opinion of man is delaying somebody else's breakthrough, because you have what they need. You have what they need in that product. You have what they need in that community. You have what they need in that group. You have what they need, right? And so I want to push you to get out there. And if you're in the process, or you get to a point in the process and you feel like, oh my God, I've been doing this for a year, I've been doing this for 6 years and nothing seems to happen. Look, my business is 3 years old. It's a toddler. So we're in the stages where we're throwing temper tantrums. We're in the stages where sometimes one day things might go haywire, or sometimes we might get behind on a little bit, because we're a toddler right now, right? Your business 6 years old. Your business just started first grade. Give it some grace to get right. Give yourself some grace to mature in the systems that you established for your business. Your ministry, you just started it, it's 6 months old. Girl, of course, it's going to be some crying. Girl, of course, you're going to have to change some diapers. Girl, of course, you're going to have to do some spoon feeding to your audience, because it's only 6 months old, right? This is the mindset you need to adapt when it comes to how you think about what you're building. Think of it as it's a child. It's 6 months old. I got to do this. I got to nurture it. My audience is 2 months old. I have to nurture it. My product is just hitting the airwaves. I gotta nurture it. I gotta show up. I gotta talk about it. And so this is why, and you're like, well, if we're just talking about business, why are you talking about God? Why are you talking about faith? Why are you talking about mindset? Because your business, whatever it is that you're creating, is only going to go as far as your character, your morals, and your values will take you. So if you're not solid in those things and they begin to waver, your success is going to waver. Okay? So be encouraged today and give God room to be God. Whatever it is that you've been holding back on accomplishing or putting out into the airwaves, putting out into the population, putting out to the community, I dare you to trust God and press go. I dare you to trust God and press send. I dare you to trust God and see what He does. Just give Him room to be God. Try the Spirit by the Spirit. And this is the Spirit of God. And if His word is valid, He's going to show up, because He hastens after His word to perform it. So that means if His word says that I make every crooked path straight, and that I'm about to step off on a crooked path, He is going to quickly move to make the path straight for me, meaning put me back where I need to be. So give Him room to be God. I got the keys to get unstuck. The keys are here. So in the comment, use that link and get the keys. Soon we're going to have a group effort where we're going to go through these keys together and unlock every door together that have us bound, right? Because we got too much work to do, to be bound by fear, to be bound by the opinion of man, to be bound by the what ifs. We got too much to do, and there's too many people out here that need God, and they need the thing that God put on the inside of you so that they can do what God told them to do, so that they can live the way that God called them to live. So get the keys to get unstuck, get in the community, link in the description for the community as well, and we're gonna plow through that. This is your girl, Coach NaQuandra. Thank you for watching this video. If you have not subscribed to my channel, subscribe right now. If you have not liked this video, like it right now. And if you have not left a comment, leave a comment right now. Okay? Thanks for listening. Talk soon.